So our next topic is about evaluating the limit of rational functions. For the next example, we will evaluate a rational function. Let's say the limit of 2x over x plus 1 as x approaches 1. So, we have to check if the limit of the denominator is not equal to 0. Okay? So, is it not equal to 0? Yes, not equal to 0 kasi polynomial siya. So, pwede nating ipasok na lang yung 1 doon. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, not equal to 0. Therefore, we can use limit theorem number 7. That is, pwede natin siyang i-separate the limit of 2x as x approaches 1 over the limit of x plus 1 as x approaches 1. So this is now equal to 2 times the limit of x as x approaches 1 all over the limit of x as x approaches 1 plus the limit of 1 as x approaches 1. So anong limit na to? 2 times the limit of x as x approaches 1 is 1. So that's 2 times 1. Divided by the limit of x as x approaches 1 is 1. Plus the limit of the constant 1 is equal to 1. So we have 2 over 2, or that is equal to 1. Next example is, we find the limit of x minus 5 over x plus 3 as x approaches 2. So, check muna natin kung yung denominator ba is not equal to 0. So, the limit of that is 2 plus 3, 5. Therefore, not equal to 0. So, pwede natin siyang paghiwalayin. That is the limit of x minus 5 as x approaches 2 all over the limit of x plus 3 as x approaches 2. Or that is equal to limit of difference at limit ng sum. So we have the limit of x as x approaches 2 minus the limit of 5 as x approaches 2 all over the limit of x as x approaches 2 plus the limit of 3 as x approaches 2. So we now have the limit of this is 2 minus the limit of the constant is 5 over the limit of x is 2 minus plus the limit of the constant is 3. So we now have negative 3 over 5. Or we can write that as the negative of 3/5. For the last example, we have the limit of x minus 2 times x plus 6 all over x minus 4 as x approaches negative 1. So since our denominator, the limit of it is not equal to 0, so we can proceed with limit theorem number 7. That is, kunin natin yung limit ng taas over limit ng baba. So we have the limit of x minus 2 times x plus 6 as x approaches negative 1 over the limit of x minus 4 as x approaches negative 1. So since we have a product here, pwede natin siyang paghiwalayin. That is the limit of x minus 2 as x approaches negative 1 times the limit of x plus 6 as x approaches negative 1 all over, eto meron tayong difference, so we can have the limit of x as x approaches negative 1 minus the limit of 4 as x approaches negative 1. So, sa numerator natin, again, tingnan ninyo, meron tayong difference. Tas dito meron tayong sum. So, pwede natin kunin yung limit ng x as x approaches negative 1 minus the limit of 2 as x approaches negative 1 times yung limit ng x as x approaches negative 1 plus yung limit ng 6 as x approaches negative 1 all over. So what is this now? We have negative 1 minus 4. So that is now equal to negative 1 minus 2 times negative 1 plus 6 all over negative 1 minus 4. Or that is now equal to negative 3 times 5 all over negative 5, which is equal to 3. So napansin natin that the limit of f of x over g of x as x approaches a is actually equal to f of a all over g of a, where f of x and g of x are polynomials and g of a is not equal to 0. So, ganun lang pala yun. Kung meron tayong rational expression, tapos polynomial yung nasa taas at polynomial yung nasa baba. Okay? Tapos, eto, yung limit niya or yung g of a is not equal to 0. Pwede pala na i-substitute lang natin yung value ng a. So, balikan natin yung mga example natin. So, balikan natin yung example natin. Using our observation, polynomial ito, polynomial din ito, and then, hindi naman ito mag-0 kasi 1 plus 1 is not equal to 0. Therefore, pwede nating ilagay na lang si 1 over 1 plus 1. This is equal to 1. Ganon din dito sa pangalawang example. Polynomial to, polynomial din to, at ito hindi siya equal to 0. So we have 2 minus 5 over 2 plus 3. So that is negative 3/5. And finally, we have a polynomial here and a polynomial here. And ito hindi siya equal to 0. So pwede nating ipasok na lang. Negative 1 minus 2, negative 1 plus 6 all over x all over negative 1 minus 4. So we have positive 3. Now, kung meron tayong limit ng isang rational expression, tapos polynomial yung nasa taas at polynomial yung nasa baba, pero yung g of a natin is equal to 0, meaning magzi-0 yung denominator. So, paano natin ngayon kukunin yung limit niyan? So, i-discuss natin yan sa susunod nating lesson.